Hello folks, thanks for joining me for the in-stock lease deals of the month for October 2023. A link to LeaseLoco is in the video description and pinned as a top comment. As always, please click through that. It really helps support the channel. All these deals are based on 3 months up front, 3-year deals on 10,000 miles a year. But of course, you can use that link, go through and find a profile that suits you and your particular needs. Now in this one, we're going to start off with petrol, diesel and hybrid cars, and then we're going to have all the EVs at the end, and we'll be going from the cheapest deals to the most expensive deals. But there's a real mix of cars in this one. There's some big stuff, there's some spicy stuff. So give it a thumbs up and let's crack straight on. So the first one I'm showing you here, it's quite a good deal, but it's nothing amazing, but I'm showing you this for a bit of context. So Fiat 500, 200 quid a month, £600 up front. Obviously this is in stock, as will all these deals be. Average price on it's been £288 a month, currently £200 a month. You can see just 6 weeks ago in July it was 299 quid for that, currently 200. But the real reason I'm showing you this is to just emphasise what a good deal this is on this Kia Sport Wagon. 1.5T 𝘎𝙃𝑖𝑠𝑔2, 8.6 seconds to 62, 158 horsepower, insurance group 14, 625 litres of boot space, 50 mpg, 130 mile an hour car. This one's 743 up front and 247 a month. And of course it's in stock. This is not an amazing price. This is just kind of the price. As you can see, the average on it's been 275. It's currently 247. So it's 25 quid a month less than the average. But just look at that, for an extra £47 a month. You're in a Kia Ceed Sport Wagon versus a Fiat 500. I know I've shown these before and I know I show them a lot, but it's just such a good car for the money. You can also get the sort of coupe version of this as well for similar sort of money. So 743 up front and £247 a month. Next we've got the Focus. This is the 1 litre ST line EcoBoost. £262 a month with 786 up front. 50 mpg, insurance group 13, 10.2 seconds to 62. Booting that's about 400 litres from memory. Average price has been 320 quid, currently 262. At its peak, look, back in January, £390 a month. In October last year, £388 a month. It was actually about a tenner cheaper just a week ago, but currently still a great price. 786 up front and 262 a month. It's another one of those deals where the price is bang average, but I think it's exceptional value for money. It's the Nissan Qashqai 1.3 𝙇𝙄𝙉𝙉𝙉𝙉𝙍 mild hybrid Accenta Premium, 859 up front and 286 a month. And of course it's in stock, so it's got that going for it. But it's a lot of car for that much money, and it's a really good car. You know, the Qashqai's month after month one of the most popular vehicles in the UK. It's either number 1 or number 2. And there's a good reason for it. You know, they are good value for money. As you see, the average price is 286 a month. It is currently 286 a month. But the difference between this and some of the deals you'll see in the main lease deals video is the fact it's in stock and you'll be able to get one very quickly. Next, we've got a car that's probably as good a laugh to drive as anything in this video. It's the Polo GTI. Yes, and it's a DSG automatic. 1,039 up front and 346 a month. 6.5 seconds to 62. 207 horsepower, 149 mile an hour top speed, 41 mpg, and you've got 351 litres of boot space, so it's reasonably practical as well. 378 quid has been the average, currently 344 with just over a grand up front. Honestly, brilliant things. Not 66 point something. What is it? 6.5 seconds, did I say? 6.5 seconds, I did say. But it feels like a rocket ship. It feels like you're flying down the road. It's like a go-kart. They're brilliant, brilliant fun. I think 346 quid a month for that kind of performance is not a bad price at all. So go and check one out. Sticking with the spicy VW Group cars, we've got the Octavia VRS. This is the 2 litre TSI VRS DSG automatic. 1,200 quid up front, 394 a month. Of course, it's in stock. 6.7 seconds to 62, 245 horsepower, insurance group 27, 640 litres of boot space, and 39.7 mpg combined. Now, the average price on these has been £468. At its peak, it was actually this time last year, £546 it would have cost you then. Back in January, £538, £503 even in April. And then it dropped down sort of just before the summer. And we're about as cheap as we've seen it right now. £394 a month, £1,184 up front. Next, we've got the Peugeot 3008, and it's a plug-in hybrid. This is the 1.6 hybrid 225 GT, and it's the 𝑒88 automatic gearbox. 8.9 seconds to 62, 225 brake horsepower, 395 litres of boot space, 30 is the insurance group, and the fuel consumption, if you believe this, is 177.9 mpg. It's one of those daft PHEV MPG figures that makes no sense. 1,300 up front and 433 a month. Now, obviously, these plug-in hybrids are a lot more expensive than buying a standard petrol car, for example. Average price on it's been 470 quid, and it's been fairly steady for most of the year, look, at around about 490, even going up to 500 just back in August. So, 5 minutes ago, really, it was 507 quid a month. But for most of the year, it's been around about 490 to 500. Currently 433 with 1,300 up front. I dare say there's a handful of these available, so it's probably one you're going to need to jump on quickly if you want to get your hands on it. And then another PHEV is the Suzuki Aircross. We've seen it in a couple of videos lately. It's the 2.5 litre plug-in hybrid CVT automatic, 1,359 up front, 453 a month. In stock, obviously. 0-62 in 6 seconds, 302 horsepower, insurance group 39, 490 litres of boot space. And let's have a look at the pricing. It's the cheapest we've ever seen it. Even compared to last week, it was 491 last week. It's currently 453. But for most of the year, you'll see it's been well over 600 quid. And in fact, in July, it was 734 a month. It's a huge saving since then. But even look at it, like up before then, 715, 700, 690, 656. And then it just dropped down around about July, August time. And we're currently at the lowest price we've seen it this year, 453 with 1,359 up front. That's a stonking deal. Don't forget the Suzuki A-Cross is a Toyota RAV4, albeit with a different badge on it. Now look at this monster. It's the Audi Q8 55 TFSI Quattro S-Line Tiptronic with the comfort and sound pack. This is 2,600 up front and 866 a month. 5.9 seconds to 62, 340 horsepower, insurance group 48, 680 litres of boot space, and 26 mpg. That's not the most fuel efficient car in the world, is it, folks? But guess what? If you can afford one of these, you probably don't care. So $2.5 grand up front, 860 a month. Let's look at the pricing on this. And as you will see, it's just fallen off a cliff. This time last year, it was 985. In March, it was 1167. In May, it was 1228. And then really since May, it's been £1,100 a month. It's been dead steady, look, £1,102 per month. Absolutely rock steady at that. And then literally in the last week, it's just gone 2,600 up front and 866 a month compared to an average of 1,047 a month. That's a great saving. I know it's an expensive car, but as I said, if you have that kind of money and you're in the market for one of these, you can save a good few quid right now. Now, I've talked about gap insurance a lot in these videos. As always, we're sponsored by Car2Cover. But I was wondering, a car like that Audi, I mean, that's 75 grand to get one of those. How much the gap insurance going to be on that? So I've just run a quick quote through on car2cover.co.uk. This is without my discount, by the way. If you give them a ring on 01438 870 615 and quote Jim10, they'll knock a tenner off any of these prices for you. And if you do multiple policies with them, they've got some really hefty discounts they can throw on top of that. £209 gives you 3 years of cover on a £75,000 car. Now, bear in mind, I dare say when you drive that car off the forecourt, theoretically, or once it gets delivered to you, it's probably lost 8-10 grand of its value, like just like that. And you can imagine by the time you get to year 3, it's lost a lot of its value. Now, that's not your concern because you're leasing the car, but let's say it gets written off and your insurance company comes up with a very different settlement figure to the one that's being requested by the car finance company that's leasing you the vehicle. Let's say, for example, the insurance company wants to pay you 50 grand for the car and the car finance company is asking you for 57 grand for the car. The gap insurance will step in and fill that gap. So essentially they'd pay that £7,000 difference. Now the policy here covers you up to a maximum of 50 grand. So it doesn't mean the car has to be 50 grand. It's the maximum they will pay out is 50. In the event that happens, they'll even pay 250 quid towards your car insurance excess, and they'll help you out with up to 3 monthly payments against a replacement vehicle. So give Car2 Cover a shout, car2cover.co.uk. Give them a ring and mention Jim10 and get yourself a tenner off. Onto the EVs now, folks. We're starting off with the good old-fashioned Nissan Leaf, 110 kilowatt Tecna, 39 kilowatt hour automatic. One of the biggest downsides with the Leaf is it doesn't have the best range in the world, but a lot of people still have an EV as a second car or just as a commuter car. They don't do long journeys. If that's the case, you're not going to have any problems. 168 miles of range, 420 litres of boot space, insurance group 24, 0-62 7.9 seconds, 859 up front and 286 a month. If you order it now, you'll get it in November, they're saying here. Let's have a look at this. This time last year, 468 a month, 474 a month at the end of October, 446 in February, 431 in July. Currently, the cheapest price we've seen it all year, 286 with 859 up front, and that compares to an average of 379. Great deal. And I've mentioned it way too many times before, but I just want to tell you that the Funky Cat deals are still around. 896 up front and 298 a month. Remember, that's a £32,000 car. Next, we've got the Citroen EC4, similar money to that Funky Cat, and obviously it's quite a bit bigger. 219 miles of range, 136 brake horsepower, insurance group 23, 380 litres of boot space, 900 up front and 301 a month. Back in October, it was 523 a month, 572 in January, 566 in June, 572 again for a long period there between sort of July and September, and then just literally in the last week it's fallen right down to 301 quid a month with 900 up front. 439 a month has been the average price on it, currently 301. The BYD Atto 3 has featured in a couple of recent videos. I've just reviewed the BYD Dolphin over on Men and Motors, by the way, so go and check that out if you haven't seen it yet. That was a really, really good car. I was massively impressed with it. Couple of little gripes, but you know, such is life. 1100 up front and 389 a month on this one. 261 miles of range, 204 horsepower, 559 litres of boot space. Insurance group 38 and 0-62 of 7.3 seconds. And look at this. In May, it was 760 a month. In June, 660. In August, 425. Currently, 389. That's a great price. Still some deals floating around on the ID4. This is the Style Edition Pro Performance version. 1,500 up front and 500 a month. 8.5 seconds to 62. 543 litres of boot space. Insurance group 27. 204 horsepower. 322 miles of range. 633 has been the average price for one of those. Currently 500 quid. This time last year, 748. 777 in December. 717 in March, 654 in May. For a lot of the year, it's been about £600 a month, average 633. Currently 500 with 1,500 up front. And the last one today is the Subaru Solterra, 150 kilowatt touring. Obviously, this is the Toyota BZ4X, basically, with a different badge on it. A few slight differences, but that's about it. 1,400 up front and 474 a month. 0-62 in 6.9, 218 brake horsepower, 257 miles of range. Insurance group 47, 441 litres of boot space. This time last year, 768 a month. In January, 843 a month. In April, 846. In July, 841. Currently 474. Look how much it dropped there. Just in a week in September, it went from 732 to 474, and it's now the cheapest price we've ever seen it. 474 with 1,424 up front. That's a great deal, folks. Jump on it now. Please do something for me for free. Please give the video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And please use that link to LeaseLoco in the video description. And please go and check out 𝘾𝙃𝙉𝙆𝙎. It all helps the channel, all helps these videos to be seen, and it all helps me make more of them. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really appreciate people that stay around to the end of the video. Not many do. So you're one of them now if you're seeing this. Thank you very much. I'll catch you on the next one.